Hello and welcome back to my personal hell. A lot has taken place between now and the last video. And by a lot, I mean I've basically been grinding games, trying to collect stats for all the different cards I've been running. I have a spreadsheet up right in front of me right now, and it is cataloging, well, over 200 games that I've played, and basically the win rates of drawing certain cards into my opening hands. So that has given me a very wide spread of cards that perform exceptionally well and cards that perform a bit poorly. Typically, the cards that start waning off towards the lower end of the spectrum, I stop running them. So I don't have any cards that like perform really, really bad like all the time yet. But so far, I do have a handful of cards that perform really, really well most of the time. So I just thought I would go over that. But mainly, I have to emphasize that it has been just a fucking kick in the head this past month. Kashtira finally got a Rise Heart, and they got their field spell. And it is now the most popular deck in the game. Everybody runs Fenrir or Unicorn, so there's nothing even terribly unique about that. And then on top of that, like the Kashtira deck itself is really hard to deal with. The field spell gives you recurring pop anything every turn during your opponent's turn too. They can lock out your zones with Shangri Era, and a Rise Heart has spell speed 2, banish anything face down. And every single time he banishes a card, he adds it back to himself as material. So he procs his own material gain every time he banishes. And he's already a walking macrocosmos. And a walking macrocosmos turns off decisive battle. And that's especially important considering, after crunching all of these games that I've played, decisive battle is by far the strongest card in my entire deck, bar none. And that's super surprising because literally nobody complains about this card. Nobody gives a shit about decisive battle. I haven't heard anyone mention it. I've pretty much, I think if I've seen anybody run it, I think it was a branded deck like maybe once in ranked. Like it, nobody plays this card, but this card is amazing. It has saved me from so many board wipes. But even that said, I've been logging the causes of my losses every single time I do loss, and even with running 3 copies of Decisive Battle of Golconda, which still massively ratchets up my win rate, I still lose disastrously to destruction cards. So, first off, let's just go over the cards that I've added, and then I'm going to go over kind of the weaknesses that I've carved out. So, obviously, still running 3 Broker. He was not performing that well in the Duelist Cup, which is where I was basically just losing en masse. It was getting really desperate in the Duelist Cup. I got up to Duelist level 17, which I think is pretty good. But I really couldn't get further than that before I gave up. And Magical Broker was not performing so well there. That's not to say that I can't capitalize on Broker. It's at least to say, though, that his win rate's not looking so hot in the current moment because of it. But anyway, so I'm still running 3 Broker. I'm set on that. Ghost Ogre is kind of borderline. I still think it's one of the best removal cards I have access to because it hits not only the really troublesome recurring back row, like the Kashtira field spell, like the Virtual World Gate Chuche, like the pendulum, the time pendulum graph, and all the other stuff like Dark Magical Circle or Eternal Soul that come up all the time. But it also can pop monsters on the field, which can be really good. It's just not performed super well, though. And I think I would say this card would be performing a lot better if people were not running Called by the Grave so frequently. I think that's it. Maybe if Maxi eventually gets bans, Ghost Ogre would actually see a resurgence. Because at the moment, it's like the only hand trap I run in this deck, and it gets Called by the Grave maybe like a third of the time, and that really sucks. Apart from that, I have started running Watchcat, and I actually really like Watchcat. It's kind of got questionable effectiveness, though, because you can't use it special. Basically, if you have no monsters, it can Cyber Dragon onto the field. And at the end phase, if it's Cyber Dragons, you can banish it, set a continuous spell directly from your deck. That means I can fetch Decisive Battle of Golgonda, or a Clockwork Knight, or Cauldron, but perhaps most interestingly, Prohibition. So basically, even if I go first, let's say I already have a Decisive Battle. My priority most times is to get Decisive Battle on the field because it's such a good card. But let's say I already have a Decisive Battle in my opening hand. I play that. I special summon Watchcat. I can then normal summon a Broker if I have it in hand. And then during end phase, banish Watchcat, and then I set a Prohibition. Then I pass to my opponent's turn. During my opponent's turn, I get to see what deck they're running. And then only after seeing what deck they're running, I flip Prohibition up, and boom, I've locked out like one of their key cards. At least that's the idea in theory. I think that could be really good. I think Prohibition could be much more valuable while running Watchcat, and Watchcat is much more valuable running Prohibition. But I'm seeing kind of mixed results with both of these cards right now. So I'm not super sure that I should continue to be running them. I like the idea. I'm just not sure whether or not I should stick with it. Actually, it just occurred to me. I am going to add Santa Claus in here. I haven't got enough games with Santa Claus, but having a kaiju effect is just so fucking good. It sucks not having a kaiju in hands basically like 95% of the time. But running multiple kaijus just seems to brick me, and that's not cool. I wish there was some way to fetch this. I wish there was some way to recycle its usefulness. At least running Lose One Turn and Grave of the Super Ancient Organism, I can prevent my opponent from drawing the card that it gives them. But that's not even that big of a deal to me, considering how often I try to win by deck out. So, I don't know. I really just wish there was a kaiju I could fetch in this deck. You can see I tried running Ice Barrier because Ice Barrier can fetch Gameciel. That's something I ran for like 1 or 2 games, and I was still just getting my head crushed in way too fucking hard to even try to stick with that strategy. So I gave up on that pretty much right away, but I mean, this might be something I try again in the future. Anyway, Fallen of Albaz. Even opening this, even getting this in my opening hands, though I don't have too many games in which I have done that, it's performed pretty well. Because if my opponent goes first, and they slap a bunch of shit onto the field, or actually, sorry, I specifically mean it goes okay with my, if this is in my opening hands, if I go first, if I'm turn 1. I don't have a whole lot of other games, but so far, when I've opened this in my opening hands and I'm going first, this hasn't been terrible, which is really weird because normally you can't do fucking anything with this. Maybe part of that's because I'm not even going to speculate. I don't know why. Fallen of Albaz just seems to be going okay. Either way, when I do draw this normally, and it's not fetched with Decisive Battle, it's pretty effective. And I have decided to start running Mirror Jade, and so far, Mirror Jade itself is a bigger threat to other players than Mirror Jade even doing anything. People just seeing Mirror Jade hit the field is frequently enough for people just to give up on the spot and just forfeit, which is cool because I often don't trust this guy to survive very long, or I don't trust that he'll even be able to activate his effects oftentimes because I have either lose one turn or grave the super ancient organism up, so he can't even do his shit. But I mean, as long as my opponent has any extra deck monster out and Fallen of Albaz resolves, I can get Mirror Jade out. And again, because Mirror Jade is a non-targeting banish any monster, he can be a real threat, even against some of the other new decks that are really tough to target or virtually untargetable, like Makonko. Makonko is really fucking annoying, but Makonko can't do a whole lot against Mirror Jade, which is great. Anyway, so again, running Santa Claus. It's like my favorite kaiju, but I don't have much value of. I don't have much use for it, unfortunately. Gold Sarcophagus consistently performs really well, surprisingly. Maybe it's just because I'm usually able to stall out games for a couple turns, but Gold Sarcophagus, actually not bad. It does fetch what I want, and even though it does take a couple turns before I get the value from this card, it can't be Ash Blossoms, and I can fetch any card in my deck with it, which is often a lifesaver. So that's great. If I could run more of these, I would. Auto Duality, still really good. I currently have this 5th on my list of, yeah, 5th. This is like my 5th most valuable card to open with. It's kind of on par with Gold Sarcophagus at the moment. Both of these are really good to open with. I wish I could run 3, or I wish there was another card that didn't inhibit me from special summoning. I have tried running Prod of Prosperity, and for whatever reason, I just don't draw Prod of Prosperity. And it always is a feel-bad moment to have to pick and choose which of my extra deck cards to get rid of, because most of my extra deck is keeping Decisive Battle, providing value, and then and then it's like my Link monsters, which I don't know, I may want to go into, and that's kind of a big deal. Fire Prison. Surprisingly, I like have wanted to stop running Fire Prison because like I can't attack through it with Broker, and if my opponent is running like a Cyberse deck, this is just fucking. It could be useful. Sometimes it can be useful, but like if my opponent just like splashes in a Link monster, and they can just swing straight through my shit. So sometimes I set up a defense, and then they just go into Crusadia Avramax, or they go into Underworld Goddess, and I can't do anything, and that really sucks. But a lot of the time, Fire Prison is a hard stop, and sometimes they go like, "Oh, you have that's preventing me from attacking. I'll go into Nightmare Phoenix," and that's where you go like, actually, Decisive Battle, or actually, lose one turn. You discard a card for nothing. Awesome. Prohibition, already went over. Middling value, I'm not sure if I should keep it in the deck. Cauldron of the Old Man. I stopped running this because this felt unfair. And I completely stand by that. This card is fucking busted. It should not be in the game. I do not like it. I do not like to run it. I started running this out of desperation because I was getting completely fucking hammered. In Duelist Cup. I actually don't have, like, phenomenal stats with this just yet, because I have only played it a couple times. But, again, this is one of those cards where the threat of this card often scares the opponent more than the actual effect of the card itself. Because if they see Cauldron of the Old Man is on play and they know they're on the timer, sometimes they just give up on the spot. Clockwork Knight. Actually underperforming. And that may be partly because I've stopped keeping track of my kill cards. I did have a spreadsheet in which I was trying to tally up the cards that win me games, like whether or not I flip a if I'm going up against Branded and I play Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. Okay, well that shuts down their fucking deck. That's big. I would like to credit Grave of the Super Ancient Organism for stuff like that. I just don't know how I would be able to factor that in to how I've been calculating this stuff. But maybe I should start doing that again. I'm not sure. I feel like there should be some value for cards. Because how I'm doing it right now is I'm giving cards points if they're in my opening hands and I'm winning the game. But there's no credit given to cards that I draw later in the game that like win me the game or turn the game around for me. And I feel like I should be doing that because I don't want to be eschewing cards from this deck that could be good if I draw them on my second turn, but maybe aren't so good if I draw them on my first turn. I really think maybe I should bring that back. I did that for a little while, then stopped doing it, and then I want to do it again. So I think I'm gonna do that in the future. And the reason I mention that regarding Clockwork Knight is because Clockwork Knight in my opening hands usually doesn't do a whole lot. Clockwork Knight has some niche uses which are really helpful. Like, for example, Labyrinth is really popular, and if I go up against Labyrinth, if I have Clockwork Knight out, they can't activate Big Welcome Labyrinth's Bounce from the Grave, which is really helpful. That outs a bunch of my back row, and I can't stop that. But if I have Clockwork Knight out, they don't have a level 8 or higher Fiend that they require in order to use that bounce effect. Similarly, there are some other... I forget what it is. I actually have a list up here. Let me double check real quick. There's a Sword Soul Blackout. I did not even realize, but Sword Soul Blackout... I guess it should be obvious, but you need a worm on the field in order to activate Sword Soul Blackout. So I need to send shit with Decisive Battle in order to survive a Sword Soul Blackout, because as long as Clockwork Knight out, they don't have a worm that they can tribute in order to blow up my shit. So again, there's niche value to Clockwork Knight. And as long as I'm running Fire Prison, I'm not playing as aggressively with Broker as I would like to. But it cannot be understated that Clockwork Knight, plus there can be only one, usually wins me games. It usually wins me games. Because this locks you into only one monster, and then if Clockwork Knight is out, anything they summon instantly goes to the grave. Anything else they summon instantly goes to the grave. Unless they summon something that is, like, unaffected by card effects, like maybe Dark Magician while Eternal Soul is out. They can play through this, and they have played through this. But other than that, like, Clockwork Knight and There Can Be Only One, really, really good. The only reason I'm not running 3 of these is, again, because they're otherwise not that great going first. But I really like Clockwork Knight. I am able to take advantage of it at the best of times. And if I do get a Fire Prison up, and I am able to get out a Codebreaker Virus Swordsman, and I can doubly protect him with the Decisive Battle of Golconda, and they don't have much answer to that, then I can basically swing over all of their shit. Which is a good feeling. Decisive Battle of Golconda. I already mentioned that Arise Heart turns this card off, which makes it especially tough to play against Kashtira. Kashtira only has like one card that produces pop effects, but Decisive Battle is still overwhelmingly the best card in my entire deck. I crunched 100 games in which this card was in my opening hands, and I literally won 66 of those games. So, I mean, obviously, correlation does not equal causation, but if we're talking probabilistically here, I think we can infer that this is a really good fucking card. It has gone so far and away to protecting me against multiple board wipes, recurring destruction effects. It is like it is the one card I need in order to weather most of what Labyrinth can do. And Labyrinth is a really, really difficult deck to play against. Metaverse also performing well. I think actually, looking at the stats right now, Metaverse is okay. I win more with it if it's in my opening hands, but I don't lose as much if I have it going second. It's helpful because I can activate this during the battle step, and then I can activate Fire Prison. And since Fire Prison is not declaring attacks like Synchro Zone is, I can activate it and just stop my opponent from attacking full end. And if there's some effects that they would want to do during the main phase, but they can only activate during the main phase, they have no answer to this during the damage step. That's really helpful. Main problem is that Metaverse can be ashed, specifically because it does have the option of adding it to your hands, which I do appreciate regardless, because if I play this, if I get this in my opening hands, and I have a Fire Prison in my opening hand, I can still play Fire Prison and then set this, and then when they out Fire Prison, I can either replace it, or if they don't out Fire Prison during end phase, I can just add a Fire Prison to my hands. So that's something. Or if I need to clear up my back row. Like, there's almost nothing preventing me from doing that, so that's great. Ice Dragon's Prison. 3 of them. So, Ice Dragon's Prison, looking at my stats right now, 3rd best performing card in my deck. I stopped running this for a while because, well, actually, to be perfectly honest, once upon a time, when I was running Witch's Strike could actually win me games. And it won me games because everyone else was playing, or like half of the meta was some sort of pile deck that would get Omni Negates onto the field, right? Omni Negates. But part of the reason why that was really rough to play around with Ice Dragon's Prison is because pile decks don't necessarily share all one type. It's not all Salamangreat. It's not all Dragon or Spellcaster or any one singular type. It's not Sword Soul where everything they have is Worm. But now that we're back in a meta like Kashtira, where most of their cards are Psychic, or Labyrinth, where all of their cards are Fiends, you can really take advantage of Ice Dragon's Prison. So, I think there was a period of time where Ice Dragon's Prison value, like, at the best of times, really fucking good. If I looped this shit with the Redeemable Jar, Ice Dragon's Prison was a fucking hammer to the face. But when it started running into pile decks, or decks that would lock out the grave, like maybe I ran into Grave Keepers, or maybe Exo Sisters was more popular, Ice Dragon's Prison not so hot. But Exo Sisters isn't quite as new anymore, isn't played as often, and I can resolve this way more frequently. And when I do, it is it's really good. It hates out the graveyard, and it banishes a threat that's on the field. And it's non-targeting. That makes this a primo removal card. But of course, it's kind of meta dependent. And at the moment, very good. So that's why I'm running it. Vivid Tail, performing kind of meh. Honestly, performing kind of meh. I wish it was doing better, I like when I have this card, I love having this card. When I don't have this card, I wish I had this card. But when I have this card, I guess I guess I'll say this. This is another one of those instances where drawing this in my opening hands is not great. I don't want Vivid Tail in my opening hands, but it could potentially win me games. Not that I think I have ever really credited Vivid Tail for winning me a game, but I mean, it is definitely a card that could help me. So I'm kind of holding out hope that I can justify keeping this card in my deck. I'm not sure, but yeah. Solemn Judgment. Why Solemn Judgment and not Solemn Strike? Well, there are a couple reasons. First off, as I already mentioned, Decisive Battle of Golconda. Amazing card, but I am still losing tremendously to destruction cards. Even running Decisive Battle, half of the games that I lose to destruction cards are from board wipe spells. And the other half are from either one-off targeted effects or recurring targeting effects that destroy cards that I have. And while I can address all of that with a Decisive Battle, I don't always have a Decisive Battle. And Solemn Judgment can not only spare me from, hypothetically, a Zeus or an access code talker, but it can also, if I open with it, save me from a Lightning Storm, or save me from a Feather Duster, or, alternatively, it could save me from an Evenly Matched, which is becoming even more popular as it goes on. Probably because we're in Cashier and it banishes shit face down. At least I think it banishes I don't know exactly. Either way, it stops evenly. It stops pretty much all single card board wipes that are popular, which is big. Solemn Strike, I still feel like is a little bit more useful in the moment, but my biggest issue with Solemn Strike is that it has a fixed life point cost. I can't always afford 1,500, and Solemn Judgment is always affordable. Half my life points, you know, if it's surviving turn 1, I will pay half my life points. And sometimes it's all it takes in order to win the game. So, just as further reassurance, 5 of the cards in my 40-card deck will stop a turn 1 board wipe. And that's approximately as many cards as I need in my deck to proportionally reflect the number of losses I've suffered at the hands of destruction cards. So, that's why these are in here. What the fuck am I hearing? That was really weird. You're hearing some weird siren outside. Okay, anyway. Continuing on. Rivalry of Warlords. Performing really well. I'm still kind of a skeptic about this card. Because, again, against certain decks, it's completely useless. This is the thing. If I'm against typed decks, Ice Dragon's Prison is amazing. But if I'm against typed decks, Rivalry of Warlords is terrible. But a lot of times, I'm running up against a deck that maybe runs 2 types, or their whole deck requires you to have 2 types. Like, for example, if I flip this once my opponent summons Shangri-Ira, they can't go into a Rise Heart because a Rise Heart is machine type. Sometimes it's some sort of weird gimmick like that. It could also be, I bring up Exo Sister. Exo Sisters are all spellcasters, except they're extra deck monsters. Their extra deck monsters are all warriors. So this prevents them from going into their extra deck plays. That's big. This also prevents me from getting Kaiju'd, which is also big. It often successfully hampers my opponent in ways I don't entirely expect, which is not as appealing as There Can Be Only One, which I feel like I will always know exactly what this card does. Even against a deck that is like single type or multi-type, I at least know that it will limit the number of monsters they can summon of any given type, and that will inhibit some amount of their plays. Part of my issue with this card also is that it does not allow me to play any of my other monsters, which are not, it do not save types. So it's questionable. But so far, it's performing really well, so I'm just going to keep playing it. Skill Drain. Again, just like Cauldron of the Old Man, this is a card I decided to add in desperation because of the Duelist Cup. But I would like to mention that I saw a lot more people bitching about Skill Drain back when Eldritch was popular. Back when Eldritch was popular, I think you could run at least 2 copies of Skill Drain. Now Skill Drain is limited to 1, and frankly, I fucking never see this card. Nobody fucking plays Skill Drain now. I don't see... Actually, I have to take that back. I literally just played against a Labyrinth deck that flipped Skill Drain on me, and they lost because of it. They could not play through their own Skill Drain, and they forfeited. Good reason for Labyrinth not to play Skill Drain. They're a trap deck, and they should not be playing this card. But this card I can actually play through. This could potentially be really good, because there's been multiple games where I've just won purely on my spell and traps alone. And Skill Drain can do a lot of heavy lifting. I've got up against huge, massive, fuck you boards. And if at the right time, I can flip Skill Drain, that locks them down. They can't do shit. They cannot fucking do anything. The stuff that they need to be able to do in order to get their deck moving to attack me is completely shut down. Like, they had... I was up against a deck that was, like, running Lynx and XYZs and Synchros, and I managed to flip this at the right time, which was such a big move, because they have, like, 3 removal effects on the field that will just out my entire board. But because I flipped this at the right time, the 1 removal effect that they needed in order to out this card got negated. And because that removal effect didn't work, their 2nd removal effect was not able to activate, and then their 3rd removal effect was also not able to resolve, and then they just could not out my board anymore. That was great. Obviously, this is not synergistic with Magical Broker at all, but unlike, say, Labyrinth, as long as I have Magical Broker, I can out my own Skill Drain. So if it comes down to it, if I have a Fire Prison up and they summon a Link Beater just to swing over my Broker because he's negated now, and I don't want to sends fusions from the extra deck with Decisive Battle in order to keep him around for a few turns, then I can use Magical Broker per cost to pitch Skill Drain. But the few times I've played Skill Drain on my opponent, usually been pretty fucking crippling. So that's pretty good. I don't have a lot of games with it yet, though. But yeah, just bear that in mind. So far, working pretty well. Predictably good card. And I knew it was a good card, and I was resistant to play it because everybody was bitching about it. It's too strong. I'm gonna run this card, and I don't give a shit about Rivalry of Warlords, especially because I personally don't think it's as good as There Can Be Only One. Probably because most people complaining about Rivalry of Warlords think the other player is also playing a deck in which they can summon a shit ton of monsters, or maybe there are a shit ton of monsters with 1 type. But I prefer There Can Be Only One because I can play only 1 monster. Anyway, so, Grave the Super Ancient Organism. It's as valuable as it's always been. It's a good card. It's better against certain decks, as opposed, and some decks it's just useless against. But the cards that the decks that it is good against, it's phenomenal against. Fiendish Chain. Let me just pull up Fiendish Chain right now. Fiendish Chain is in my 8th spot. It is still performing very, very well. Still great card. The only problem with the only two problems with this card, in my opinion, is that it targets and it can only hit effect monsters. There are quite a few times I wish I could target Dark Magician with this, and I haven't been able to. Yeah, but other than that, it's just a very good card overall. This has saved me many times, and sneaking this under the continuous effect of lose one turn also saved me many times before. So these two cards in combination have saved me from Baronne de Fleurs entirely, which is amazing. There can be only one. Really good card. It's still performing really well. It is right on up there. It's performing just slightly better than Fiendish Chain. I like it. Soul Levy. It's kind of tapering down in usefulness. But if I get this in my opening hands, and I can survive a couple turns, and my opponent's special summoning, usually that sets a pretty strong tone that I'm going to win the game. So that's good. And finally, Synchro Zone. I wish this was like fetchable or something. I wish there was some other way I could take advantage of this card. I know it has an additional effect where if you send a Synchro monster to the graveyard, you can target one of them and special summon it. But like, I have no means of doing that, and I don't know what I would even do with that. Neither player can declare attacks except Synchro monsters is still really good, though. And sometimes this in combination with Fire Prison is an excellent lock. Because sometimes they're able to out my Fire Prison or maybe Infinite Impermanence the Synchro Zone, but then they can't address the other card that's preventing them from attacking. And then they just have no answers to that. Also, the neither player can declare attacks things means that this card does affect monsters that aren't affected by card effects. Because this isn't affecting monsters, this is affecting the players. So that's really, really good. I already mentioned Mirror Jade. I think I've gone over these cards in the past before. I tossed Time Thief Redoer in here because I was experimenting. Once again, the extra deck is not super thought out, but it doesn't have to be because I don't use it that often. Jeez, how long has it been already? 30 minutes. Already spent 30 minutes kind of talking my own ears off. Yes, save. Let's go back. Okay, so... so the season reset, and I got bumped down to gold 5, and I had to work all the way up through gold and most of diamonds to get back here. That's already a lot of games, especially if you're not winning all the time. But then on top of that, the Duelist Cup came out, and I wanted to, earn some gems and whatnot. But fuck me, dude. This was a slog. This was a full slog, man. Getting up about halfway, like to about here, like I can do that. That wasn't too difficult. But then once I got up to like this row, like up here, and especially like 15, 16, and up to 17, I am going up against largely mid-diamond players. And I think that's about where my current deck is capping out at. It's given me a lot of chances to catch some stats, crunch some numbers, and figure out what cards are working at that level and what cards aren't. But good God, is it demoralizing. Yeah, was not having any amount of fun with this. When they put out the Duelist Cup survey, I'll be sure to tell them that. But anyway, let's get into ranked, which since quitting Duelist Cup, I've jumped back to, and it's just been win streaks. Got 2 win streaks already getting back into getting back into ranked. So I'm pretty confident that we can rank up once or twice here. Let's try to do that. I would really like to have a progression video for this month. That's kind of what I've been killing myself over here. Let's get some actual progression in. If I can get into Diamond, that would be great, because that's a lot less headache I have to go through next month. And yes, I got Cross Sheep as my mate now. I've wanted that for a while, so now we finally got Cross Sheep. Yeah, I like Cross Sheep. Okay, we're in a decisive. I would say this is a pretty good opening hands. I'm gonna save Synchro Zone for the beginning of the battle phase, and hope that they think they can only go through links here, and maybe they'll summon some links, and just walk into my Synchro Zone. Hopefully this isn't a Labyrinth deck. They didn't play anything during my end phase. It's one of the most annoying parts of Labyrinth, is that they just steal your fucking end phase and standby phase to take their own fucking turn and a half. Okay, it's Makonko. Makonko was not able to play through Fire Prison too well. I may be able to win Makonko. Oh, they're going to use their Ritual spell for a Destroy effect. Okay. Their Ritual spell is a board wipe, but Decisive Battle can save me from it. They don't often use the Ritual spell. I've played against Makonko a few times now, and they've only used their Ritual a couple times. They like to use their Ritual because they can use it as a fetch, like Illusion of Chaos, or whatever it's called, the Dark Magician Ritual that fetches everything in their deck. End of main phase. Do you not have anything playable? There goes Lava Golem. So that's a big issue with Makonko, is that they will kaiju the fuck out of you. And if you put monsters in your graveyard, they will take your monsters out of your graveyard, put it onto your field, and then kaiju you, which is super fun. What do I want to do here? Can I Prohibition something? Maybe Prohibitioning Lava Golem will have them just pitch all of their Lava Golems. I would believe they're running 3. What is the level of their... Can they pitch Lava Golem as tribute fodder? The equals or exceed. Yeah, they can pitch their kaijus as tribute fodder for their ritual monster. That's kind of fucked. I wish I had that much extra value with my kaijus. They can add any Makonko card, so they can summon Makonkos onto the field. What I'm banking on against this deck is that they're just going to continually use their fetch cards until they have less deck than I have. Currently they do, which is good. Still not playing anything. I would like to get a Solemn Judgment so I can out and evenly matched if they pull it. Ice Dragon's Prison is not amazing against them, because pretty much all of their monsters are different types. I think the main Makankos are Warrior, Spellcaster, and Psychic, and then their Ritual is a Fairy, so Ice Dragon's Prison is not great. Unless I get Clockwork Knight, of course. Clockwork Knight also makes Ice Dragon's Prison better. So that's more credit to give to Clockwork Knight that is not really reflected well in the stats. But it's true. Maybe I should just, like, go all in. Like, max 3 Clockwork Knights, get the Redeemable Jar, and just try to loop the fuck out of, Not evenly matching me. I think I would evenly match. If I could. This could well be an infinite impermanence. Makonko is very good going second because, you basically have to completely change your gameplay style against Makonko, which is kind of fucked. Like, I feel like I can't afford to play any monsters against Makonko. That's what I feel like. If they summon a sufficiently threatening Link monster, I think maybe I will Kaiju them. What bait? That is complete bait. They're continuing to fetch, so I'm okay with that. Keep digging into your deck. I'm surprised they haven't played anything yet. They're adding all these equip spells, but they're not summoning anything for it. Maybe they just think it's a matter of time before I summon something. You're playing into my trap. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Oh, what was that shit? Trying to fucking scare me? Okay. Okay, they have Nibiru, too. Nibiru, I think, is a good card for their deck. Rivalry. Rivalry could hurt them. Against a multi-type deck, Rivalry is good. But I'm holding out for Solemn Judgment in case they are able to draw into an Evenly, because I don't have any answer to Evenly right now. They threw away all of their Arabesques. Wow. Is their Ritual able to add the equip spells from the grave? Target equip spell in your graveyard, yes. Yes, so if they summon their Ritual monster, they are able to get those Arabesques back. Ooh, and they pitch the Ritual, wow. First card. While you control a monster that is equipped with an equip card, all monsters your opponent controls that can attack must attack monsters equipped with cards. In Makonko monster battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. The end of the damage step, if Makonko attacks, send an equip card you control to the graveyard. Make another attack. Okay, I'm not super threatened by that, because I can prevent your guys from battling. Alright, here we go. They're going to try to nuke my field. Is that all 3 of their Rituals in the grave? No. Fuck you. Did that work as intended? Nice. And now they have stuff out, so they're not going to hurt me as much with an evenly. Should I use Sprins? I have 30 cards in my deck. They have 25. I guess I will. Now, they do have revival cards, so they could potentially... I'm not going to special summon. They could potentially bring Ohime back. This Ohime. Their other rituals are dead. Maybe I should out this. Not sure, though. I could banish it. I could banish it. I should banish it with Ice Dragon's Prison. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna banish it with Ice Dragon's Prison. Oh no, I can't, because it can't be summoned that way. Fuck. God damn it. God, I'm an idiot. I didn't think about that. Can't special summon it that way. I keep forgetting that, man. Target one card on the field, return it to the hand. So they do have removal, but that's at the end of the damage step if your Makonko battles. Can't battle me right now. I'm going to save the Synchro Zone to surprise them. They'll go into a link to try to out me, and then it won't work. Maybe I'll wait until they, like, deck out this monster with a bunch of equipped spells, and then I'll Kaiju him. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I think I fucked up here. I could grab Nibiru. They'll just Kaiju Nibiru. I don't know. I hate that I set Ice Dragon's Prison now. I forgot. They're ritual monsters. I can't special summon an unsummoned ritual monster from the graveyard. I should know that. I'm much less worried about evenly matched now. Alright, we got multiple monsters. Haven't seen any of their normal monsters come out yet. Or their non-rituals, I should say. This can steal one of my monsters. The Makonko has such bullshit removal, I swear. They can bounce cards back to their hand. Oh, here we go. They're going for the link. Ooh, haven't seen that guy summoned yet. Seems cool to me. Tribute this card. Target a ritual in a graveyard. Special summon. He's Cyberse. Okay. Go to battle. See it. And they're back. Maybe I should have special summoned them myself. I don't know. Right? Beginning of battle. You can't attack with that either. You must have a Link Synchro monster in order to attack me. Good luck with that. The last Makonko deck I went up against, they went into Access Code Talker, but I have lose one turn, so they can't Access Code Talker me same turn. At least unless they tribute the Access Code Talker, but even then I can decisive battle that. I should try to avoid putting monsters in the grave, because they will take advantage of that. I want to save Albaz. I'm just going to pitch my decisive. Yes. As far as I know, none of their equipped spells are a threat to me if they can't attack. As long and I don't have monsters. If I don't have monsters and they can't attack, their equipped spells do nothing to me. Alright, I have 26. I have 23. Good. Dynamondo. He looks cool. I think Dynamondo looks cool. It sucks that he's kind of ritual-centric. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you contribute this card. Target one ritual monster in your graveyard. Either add it to your hand or special summon it. He has a target anything shuffle on summon. That'd have been cool if I didn't have lose one turn. The more of these guys get in the grave, the more I can take advantage of Ice Dragon's Prison. I would not be surprised if that is an infinite impermanence set down. I've become very vigilant for infinite impermanence. I have managed to foil a couple infinite impermanences just by setting my monsters instead of doing anything else. But setting monsters doesn't mean they can't steal my monsters. I have to be mindful of that too. Hey, link into something else, dude. They do have warriors, so if they somehow went into a, if they somehow went into a Baronne de Fleur, for instance, it's possible I could out the Baronne de Fleur with Ice Dragon's Prison. I'm going to pitch the Vivid Tail. I'll happily pick up the Prohibition once I see 3 Lava Golems in the grave. I want to see them sooner. I'm not super confident against Makonko most of the time. Usually I get monsters out, and once you have monsters out, you're kind of fucked. My only way to get monsters back off the field is with Beat Cop. Like my only hope against Makonko, in my opinion, is just to deck them out. I can't think of too many decks in which that's like my only chance. Well, here we go. There's the access code talker. Dynamondo is Dynamondo is Cyberse. Interesting. I think the safe thing to do is just be Kaiju this guy. Just Kaiju him. He's not going to get his attack buff. He can't attack me. He can only out with an Earth monster on his next turn. What are the odds they have more than one access code talker? Not very good, I don't think. The last Makonko deck I was playing against had a bunch of the Charmers, though. But that just means they need to have Spellcasters. I finally have Solemn Judgment. And I would still hate to run into an evenly matched. Yeah, let's save the Santa Claus. I'm gonna, Ice Dragon's Prison. Yeah. Fuck your access code talker. Suck my dick. And, Solemn Judgment. Alright, I am prepared for a double board wipe, or even an evenly matched. Setting a bunch of cards. Really? Why? Why are they doing that? Ooh, Soul Levy. That would be nice to play. I think I'm good. I pitched Metaverse. I already got another Fire Prison in hand. I can wait you out. They do not have a full extra deck. Or maybe... Oh, they banished it for Extravagance. Just max C for the fuck of it? Why'd you do that? These Fiendish Chains are not useful against Makonko. Only against, like, Fiendish Chaining my own monsters. They can't summon this Sprin, so... They can't get a monster onto my field even if they wanted to. It occurs to me, Makonko is probably the deck that would want to play... Ring of Destruction. They are kind of a burn deck. That ritual spell, if it destroyed those cards, it would also hit me for like 1,000 for every card it destroyed too. It's ridiculous. Like the strongest ritual spell in the game. That's ridiculous as fuck. And any other extra deck monster you summon that could possibly be a threat, I will also just Solemn Strike, or Solemn Judgment that. Aldrin. Another option for the future. I will beat you without any monsters. That is okay, but I don't think it's necessary. Albaz could be an out. I'm gonna pitch the grave. Can't evenly match me. They decided to set what I assume are a bunch of spells. I do wonder how good Anti-Spell Fragrance would be in this meta. I honestly have not run it pretty much at all since starting Master Duel. I think I'm good without this card. I saw one lava golem and never saw another. Don't tell me you're still holding on to him. There's another one. There we go. Very nice. Alright. All of the decisive battles are in the grave at this point. They don't have that many monsters in the grave. They're just not playing their monsters. I don't know what they are expecting to change. The board state has not changed since last turn. A really boring first game. Finally got Broker. 33 turns into the game. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm still gonna... I already got the card lead on them. I'm at 11. But they're at 11. Is it safe to pitch Broker at this point? I'm gonna say it is. Even if they summon it back and its effects are negated, I can at least pitch Prohibition with it. My first summonable monster hits the grave. Gonna give me that monster? Maxi? Not Maxi. Not him. You wouldn't be running Dark the Dark Charmer. You don't have dark monsters. Make up your mind, what are we doing here? I think that was a good use of Ice Dragon's Prison. Yes, attack me with Max C. Maybe he is both a Link and a Synchro monster. Are you just not reading the cards, or what? What is confusing you here? Urikara Divincarnate. That could activate off of Broker. Interesting. Alright, another Kaiju type card. I've tried running Urikara Divincarnate. It is so often a dead card in my hands. It seems like a cool card. It seems like it would be really fucking good. And there's lots of people online who are saying, this card's amazing against Kashtira. But I'm just... So often, it just feels like a dead card in my hand. Like, I've maybe summoned it twice. Okay, I see a Nibiru. Now what? I'm sure there's some sort of play where they summon Broker back onto my fields, then they infinite impermanence one of my back row. That's something they could definitely do. I'm sure that's some way they could try and out some of the cards in my back row, but they're not even really trying that. And this is, of course, assuming that they're actually running infinite impermanence, which cannot activate unless your opponent has a monster. Is your big rock a Synchro or Link monster? The answer is no. I will stall like this. Skill Drain's not even going to help me here. Finally! God. How many battle phases did it take for you to realize you couldn't attack me, dude? Alright, first win. Not bad. Let's go again. Hopefully a more interactive game. Not my fault, the game. They essentially punish me for having any monsters whatsoever. But that's essentially what Makonko does. Okay. Next game going second. I'm not amazing going second. Rivalry and Clockwork Knight is not an amazing combo. Oh, sweet. Cash tier. Love it. I'm really not sure about the whole dimension shifter thing. I'm not sure that that's even an amazing card in Cash Tier. It doesn't banish cards face down. They do have a couple cards that let them get stuff back from banish, but is it really worth running dimension shifter for it? Maybe they're just running dimension shifter because it doesn't hurt them, like it doesn't hurt me. I really don't want to see a Rise Heart. Really don't want to see a Rise Heart. That seems to be the classic setup to get a Rise Heart out. If this card is banished. Oh, okay. Oh, lovely. Okay. I've never seen anyone activate Big Bang on me, apart from what they just did there. Or banish effect. Always banish Big Bang. Goes into a Rise Heart. Lovely. Is that your turn? That is your turn. During your standby phase, you'll special summon a Cash Tira monster. They have the trap, which could activate to banish something from my hands. Could proc some more shit. Okay, so my immediate opinion that this is not optimal for me. If I flip Rivalry, they might have to get rid of a Rise Heart. They might choose to get rid of that and keep the Psychics, which may be wise. I'll activate Fire Prison, because I can't have Fenrir attack. If Fenrir attacks, he can start banishing my shit. I'm gonna reserve Clockwork Knight. Take Cauldron. Start burning you. I'm gonna try to have Rivalry resolve last. I'm gonna activate these at the start of my next turn. Okay. First, we're gonna activate lose one turn. Gotta do this before the standby phase. Then, Grave the Super Ancient Organism. Then, Rivalry. This will force them to choose whether they keep a Rise Heart or whether they keep the Psychics. I would prefer they just get rid of a Rise Heart, because then I don't have to worry about that source of removal. The banish removal is worse than the field spell removal, in my opinion. They haven't activated their back row, which I assume they would if it was the trap card. They're also torn. They don't know what to keep and what to play. Ooh, keeping a Rise Heart. Okay. Why did they all banish? I'm not sure why they banished. He's probably gonna get another banish effect this turn. Ooh, okay. Nice pass. I would love a Fiendish Chain. That is not as helpful. It's nice when they run Planet Pathfinder, because then you can Ice Dragon's Prison or Rise Heart. I'm gonna set Ice Dragon's Prison just so I can get one of these onto the field as like a wall in case he's able to attack me. Oh wait, they're banished. I can get Dimension Shifter. If I have to. I forget every card that goes to the grave is banished. Dumb. And Ice Dragon's Prison is gonna give him shit too. Gonna activate something fast. I'm sure the main thing that he's gonna want is Kashtira Theosis. Kashtira Theosis will just give him banished fodder. Clockwork Knights are not helpful right now. The best I can hope for is that when he finally gets his banish effect, he will focus on the Cauldron. That's my best hope, frankly. Just please banish the Cauldron. Don't banish other shit. He's below me in deck size. Ooh, that's annoying. Alright, he gets a banish off that. Fenrir. Alright, what is the biggest threat in his opinion? The rivalry. Okay. Yes. I would love a Fiendish Chain. Could you please give me a Fiendish Chain? Kashtira Birth. That's not gonna work. Oh, actually, it is gonna work. I'm an idiot. Yes, it will. Okay, if Shangri Era appears, I can Ice Dragon's Prison it, but again, Ice Dragon's Prison is not amazing against Kashtira in this case. But I'll probably have to do that. Fortunately, lose one turn is slowing them down. Grave the Super Ancient Organism is also slowing them down. Not what I want. I also can't use Broker's Send effect under Kashtira or Rise Heart, so this card really fucks my deck. It really fucks my deck. But if they attack into me, I'll have a face down. I'll have a broker that they can't swing over. I'm really hoping they divert their attention to the Cauldron. The Cauldron is doing good damage. It could potentially win me this game. Alright, there we go. That'll give them another banish. This is already going to give them a banish. Probably gonna go into Shangri-Ira. The problem is their Kashtira trap can also add Shangri-Ira, bring Shangri-Ira back to play. Wait a second, if I have Clockwork Knight, I can Ice Dragon's Prison. I'm not thinking, dude. Now that Rivalry's out of the picture. Damn, dude. I can out this Shangri-Ira. I can out this guy. It is possible. You can bring it back with the trap, but it's possible. Yeah, Rivalry's not going to come back, so I can play Clockwork Knight freely. Problem is, once it's out, it's like, that's all the value I'm going to get out of it. Okay, not surprised by that. His effects are negated this turn, though. Is he Dragon? He's Dragon. Okay, he's wasting a card. But that will add a material to Arise Heart. Fuck, dude, I wish I played Clockwork Knight. This is not a hard once per turn, for some stupid reason. So if he banishes, lose one turn, he can just do it again. What is he banishing? Okay, the Grave. I have more of those. It's fortunate. Just occurred to me. Oh, I don't have anything in the Grave, so he can't use Kashtira Birth to banish more cards. Kashtira Birth, when I play a spell, he can banish cards from my grave, but I don't have anything in my grave, so... End of main phase. Can't attack. A full extra deck? Yes, he does. Ooh, my guy. Well, that simplifies things tremendously, does it not? Oh, hell yeah, dude. I really need Decisive Battle in case he draws into a Feather Duster. I really need that. Skill Drain does save me here. Alright, just in case a threat does come out. Alright, let's see it. He'll activate his effect to pop a card, surely. I don't know if a Rise Heart chains to that. It's not when, right? Alright, a Rise Heart is going to chain off of this. Armed Dragon is not a quick effect. I will let that resolve. Don't get fucking Feather Duster, please. Ooh, Infinite Impermanence. He wants my face up. Good to know. He activates that. I say, how about fuck you, sir? And suck my dick is what you can do. I'm saying that too often now. I gotta pass on that. I do not need to be saying that as often as I am. Okay. I can banish all of this stuff. I can banish all of it if I want to. Or any of it, I should say. Dimension Shifter can out one of these guys. I don't know if it's worth trying to out any of them just yet. If I draw into Decisive Battle, that'll make a big difference. Does Cauldron win me this? Is more of a win for Skill Drain, really. Fiendish Chain is good. Fiendish Chain could back me up. He wants this monster face up so he can Infinite Impermanence me. Gonna try to avoid that as much as possible. If I see Harpy's Feather Duster, I'm outing this Arise Heart. Alright, you gotta beat me next turn, or get rid of this Cauldron. Hell yeah. Two wins in a row against very tough decks. Ashtira and Makonko. Now I'll play the next game against Pirelli and just get my fucking shit pushed in. Again. I hate that I said that shit pushed in. I hate that the graphic imagery that gives me. I hate that. I shouldn't even say that. It is much more appealing to think about my teeth getting knocked out or, you know, a boot up my ass or something like that. Awesome. Gotta be a great feeling to be a special summon combo spam fuck player. Immediately play Max C, and then have your opponent play a Pot of Duality. Just to really salt the wound, you know? Okay. Well, they got the Link shit on the field. A lot of what they have indicates they will try to link my shit away. Let's go Synchro Zone. We got two Pot of Dualities, unfortunately, so that's not great. And if you paid attention, you would know what this card is and what it does. And then a mystery monster face down. I can't negate any effects, which is a problem. I only hope you're just gonna try to swing into me. They got Link card sleeves, the Link field, the little Link mate platform. They've got a monster from a Link archetype. They got the Link border. I think they like Links. Oh, look at that, Adagnister. Okay. What is the Adagnister? I'm not... Decisive Battle can protect me from their, Decisive Battle can protect me from... Man, I didn't... Actually, I probably should have gotten the Fire Prison. Their Cyburses would have been negated. I really should have gone for Fire Prison, man! I didn't think about it! Fuck. Alright. They're gonna go full bore into some real horseshit here, I know it. I don't remember what the big Adagnister boss monster does. Like, Dark Infant, or whatever it's called. Decode Talker, Heat Soul, okay. These guys have multiple attributes, so they can definitely go into access code. And probably full access code Talker turn 1. Man, if I had just extended the thought process, man, they're probably gonna be playing Link monsters. I should have grabbed the... Goddamn. It's so counterintuitive, man. Fire Prison does nothing against Link monsters up to and until they have 2 Cyburst Link monsters on the field. Then it's an even bigger crush on the nuts. By the way, that's much less of an unappealing graphic imagery to cock and ball torture. Definitely not. Look, dude. You control no monsters in your main monster zone. Special summon 1 level 4 or lower Adagnister monster from your hand. But for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon a monster with the same original attribute. Not the only card they have where they just cycle through all the fucking attributes of the Adagnisters. Lose 1 turn would have gone a long way here. Ah, fuck, they got Math Mech shit, too. Math Mech, the stupid Singularity card, wrecks me. Like a triple send... It summons an XYZ with, like, a triple send effect on it. There's Transcode Talker, the next step before access code. I don't have confidence in winning this. If I had lose 1 turn, I'd be okay. But I don't have lose 1 turn. This is where they would be locked out if I had Fire Prison. Oh. What does this guy do? Monster special summon the card. You can special summon as many level 4... Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. He just summons all his shit. Because why the fuck not? Dude's like the level 5 junk speeder or whatever the fuck. Equivalent of synchro monsters. He just comes out and he's like, hey, you know, all those materials I used to get to this point, they're all back. I can reuse them again. No consequence. Fuck you. If a monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, special summon as many level 4 or lower Agnes or monster from graveyard as possible. At least there's a once per turn on his fucking effect. Jeez. What? Divine. I'm sure there's some nasty strat involved in that. Access code talker would just kill me right now. I'd be a little more confident too if I had a solemn judgment. Just a whole bunch of cards I wish I had right now that I don't have. Cauldron is not an immediate solution to fucking anything. Fucking wrecked, dude. You stood no chance. Clearly, I was the better player. You took one look at my face down, you're like, oh shit, dude, I don't even want to fuck with that. I gotta surrender. Very wise move. Very wise move. I basically had another 35 cards under that one card that was on my field. He had no chance, really. So, very wise of you to forfeit. Let's keep going. Get this rank up. Going second. Not great. I have a interesting going second hand. I can Kaiju. I can Albaz. Interesting. Alright. What have you got? In before they Dragonar FTK me. Bestials. Got the Chaos Engine. Dragon Link. Synchro Zone will be helpful here. I personally don't understand the whole purpose of the Chaos Engine. Is it just to thin your deck out? I personally don't really understand the point of these cards. They don't really help each other. They don't really help get each other out. Like, it's just a level 4 with a special summon effect. Obviously, there's some value to be had in them. I just don't personally see it. And summon one, link it away. The other one, banish the other one for the card effect that fetched it. Link that away. It's really counterintuitive. Yeah, it seems like Dragon Link. Let's see your Borland Dragon. That's their big boss monster these days. I can Albaz by pitching Vivid Tail, which would be really helpful. And then I think Vivid Tail is live right away. So I summon Albaz, activate its effect, pitch Vivid Tail. If they negate it, I can use Vivid Tail to bounce Albaz back to my hand. Grave the Super Ancient Organism is not going to be amazing, but it could be useful. Imagine having to learn some bullshit summoning combo like this. This sounds so fucking tedious and unfun to learn. There he is. Who else we adding? Chaos Ruler. Chaos Dragon Levianeer. That's what she's gonna hold on to. Okay, so he can special that into play. Probably won't do right now. He'll probably save that for the following turn, right? Never mind. I guess he's just coming out. No, I needed that, dude. Why'd you do that? You fucking cunt. I needed that. Cannot be destroyed by battle card effects. Also, neither player can target this card with card effects. The player can attack all monsters your opponent controls. You can target one effect monster on the field. This is a quick effect. Negate the effects of that monster on the field, and if you do, special summon that other monster from your graveyard. Activate cards or effects. Fuck me, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, the one card I really needed you to not get rid of. Shit. Alright, well... I have these two, so it can prevent Chaos from swinging into me. Is it even worth playing Albaz right now? Can you negate any card? Target one effect monster on the field. You would negate Albaz's effects. Clockwork Knight could fuck up your summoning, since you're all dragon types. But now you're machine types. So I'm going to save Albaz for now. And I hope you can't board wipe me. End phase, special summon something from the grave would be wise. They don't do it for some reason. Okay. Got that up. Don't board wipe me, bro. and go into a level 12 synchro. Even if they go into synchros, I'm at least safe with regards to Grave of the Super Ancient. Man, you got rid of my one kaiju! What? There should be, like, no hand destruction in this game at all. Hand destruction should just not be a thing. I will happily just say card destruction, I mean, if it draws you the same number of cards, okay. I mean, that's just trying to mill you out by some means. But just, oh, I destroy a card in your hands. Like, that just shouldn't be a fucking thing. I'd be okay if Witch's Strike didn't have that shit. Synchro 9? What are we doing here? I think it would have been in a really good spot if I had outed the Borlands and then able to use the Chaos Ruler to go into Mirror Jade, but that option was not made available to me. I wonder how much of their extra deck I've locked out with Clockwork Knight. Clockwork Knight. Yes, it's called Clockwork Knight. Fetching dragons. What dragon do you need to fetch? Synchro 7? Do you have XYZ 8s? You could get through my shit if you had a rank 8 XYZ. Chaos Angel. Negated, motherfucker. You can treat one light and one dark monster. Okay, battle phase. Now that we're in battle phase, I will activate Synchro Zone. You control cannot be destroyed by battle, okay? Cool turn, bro. I hate that this is being splashed in so many decks now, too. Some decks are able to go into a Synchro 10 really easy. Fiendish Chain. Either player can target this card with card effects. I mean, I'll hold on to a Phoenix Chain. If they go into, like, an XYZ, I might have issues. Alright, I have 34. They're at 24. They've whipped through a good amount of their deck. And I keep doing it. By all means, please do. Can you even summon those links again? Your shit's all machines now. Ooh. Alright, not looking too hot for you now. This is why we have Grave of the Super Ancient Organism in the deck. This is why. Ice Dragon's Prison. Ooh, I could out Borlens. I could out Borlens. That is a tuner. Rocket Tracer is a very popular card for these guys. Let's Vivid Tail. Bounce the Clockwork Knight back. Play Clockwork Knight again. There. Now I can out Borland if I have to. I am lucky to have survived this long. Pulling Grave was very helpful. Okay, I am going to out Borland now, so we can play this Pot of Duality. I don't know if they can use the Chaos Space to resummon Borland, actually. I am thinking about doing, like, a real hardcore Ice Dragon's Prison, like, looping thing in this deck. I'm not sure how yet. All 3 of your Chaos Spaces are banished, so I don't think you can bring that back. I did special summon, though, so I can't use Pot of Duality. That sucks. I didn't think about that. Could have done it during their turn. They probably would have left Borland out. His effects were still alive. Really want decisive battle. Nice. He is running Gamma, so that's just extra reason not to try and play this Albaz card, in my opinion. One Gamma, though. And, can he use Gamma while his driver is banished? For hand deck or graveyard. He may not even be able to use his Gamma. That might be his one driver. Probably his one driver. What I expected. If he had a rank 8 XYZ he could go into, I think he would have already. I'm at 31. Good shit. Just passing turns now. Dragon Link is considered one of the, like, real strong decks right now, too. Another Ice Dragon's Prison. Very nice. I would like to get rid of this Levianeer. I'm mainly concerned about the Levianeer. I don't want to see this guy get summoned with his banish effects live. And he could recycle them, potentially. Monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. Not a big deal to me right now. Try to get some branded stuff online. Been banishing the Gamma. Face down. Is that basically his entire Link play? Or am I just like, have I just hard locked him out of his Dragon Links that much with Clockwork? Soul Levy would sure be nice. I'd like to get rid of Soul Levy. I would like to mill him some cards. I think maybe I should just get rid of the highest attacking threats. We get rid of those. I think Levianeer is my biggest issue here. I want to get rid of this Rocket Tracer again. Oh, you're gonna pop a card. Okay. What are you popping? Oh. Okay, well, you kinda answered that question for me. I guess I will be, banishing this. Thanks, I guess. Oops. Okay, so he can tribute Bestials to pop cards. Is a problem. I don't know how many Bestials he has. He could bring this guy back. A Dark Dragon monster. Could use either of these to bring it back. That'd be a bitch, dude. Alright. I want to deny him that much as possible. Let's Fallen of Albaz. And activate his effect. Pitch the second Fiendish Chain. Ooh, okay. Got it. Shit, no! I didn't think about this, man. I did not think about this. Bitch. Bitch. Probably go into Lynx again. Man, don't they have to be different types? Fuck me, dude. I didn't think this through. What can I go into? Oh, I can still go into shit, dude. Dude, okay, I completely forgot. I didn't even need to pitch anything. Suck my dick. I completely forgot about that. That was an option. Why couldn't I not use you? That's weird. I can't play this again. Alright. Alright, he might be able to go into some extra deck plays now. Hopefully I can mill some stuff off of him. We'll see. I completely forgot that I had access, that Albalenitus could be used that way. I always forget about that. He's a contact fusion. Alright, please special summon and fail to do anything of consequence. Thank you. You target before you pop a card. Tribute a dragon monster. Target one card your opponent controls. Okay. Yep. That's about what I expected. Thank you for the mill. Branded Beast. Yep. Getting rid of that. Okay. I will use my Vivid Tail. Add it back to my hands. What? Doesn't work like that, but okay. Sure. Don't worry, I won't Albaz you. Okay, you weren't able to destroy it. Vivid Tail is gone permanently. I have one Fiendish Chain. Can you go full combo on me right now? Interesting move. I don't know that that necessarily helps you much at all. Attack me. Go ahead, attack me. He's gonna try to recycle Levianeer. And he can get rid of Levianeer to bring back the Bestial too, which sucks. Do this as spell speed 2 as well. Once per turn though. So we can do it during my turn. Next opportunity. Can he even Levianeer right now? Oh, he can. Alright. What is he gonna get rid of? Thanks for the mill. He could tribute this and resolve the effect. If he does that, I'm kind of fucked, honestly. Gets all of these effects. Please don't tribute him. Oh, he's not a bestial. I'm an idiot. He can't do that. I'm gonna have to negate him anyway. He can still destroy Radion. Fuck you. Special summon some more, please. Nice. He's almost out of cards. Go into Striker Dragon or something stupid. Come on. He did his Bestial this turn. I'm assuming he can only do that once per turn. Yep, you can only special summon Bestial Lugubellion once per turn this way. It's also not a quick effect, so he can't do that during my turn. So he needs to either have another Bestial in hands and get that into play this turn, and then he can Branded Beast next turn. That remains to be seen. Ooh. Interesting. Return a face-up card on the field to the hands. During once per opponent's turn. Once per opponent's turn. Okay, so he can't do that during his turn. Very interesting. Okay. Okay. This is not good for him. I think he just lost. Yeah, special summon a monster from your hand or deck and make its attack and defense 0. Oh, he bounced the Soul Levy. Never mind. I didn't think about that. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. No biggie. Is it? No, yeah, no. He just now decides to get that. Okay, so anyway, where were we? Yes. Soul Levy. It'll be really annoying if they just drew Harpy's Feather Duster. That'd be really fucking annoying. They only have one more card left in their deck. What can you do? Don't feather duster me, bro. Hey, Kaiju, thanks. Now you gotta kill me. And you do that. You just gave me a much bigger wall. Hi there. Well, Dragon Link, are you ready to give me my rank up? You have one card in hand, and about half of your extra deck. What can you go into with 3 machines? Dark the Dark Charmer Gloomy. Gonna get an Albalenitis from me. Oh. That's gonna be negated thanks to Grave the Super Ancient. Cool story, bro. Now what? Gonna access code talker me? Oral Sword Dragon. You can't attack with that. Well, that's unfortunate. Also, you're weaker than me anyway. What were you supposed to be able to do? Finally get Decisive Battle. Once return target attack position monster, change the defense position. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's effect. Once return, declares a face of attack, you can attack. It gains attack equal to half that monster's current attack. Okay, so you'd be able to swing over me. But I had Synchro Zone. Fuck yeah, finally got a rank. Jesus fucking Christ. You got that progress. It would be nice if I could get up to, Platinum. Or, I am in Platinum. Diamond. It'd be nice if I could get up to Diamonds in another video. Probably can. This was pretty much just a win streak, which is great. I'm pleased with that. But... Anyway, wanted to take a peek at the deck that's got me to Platinum 1. And probably soon to take me to Diamond 5. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Goodbye.